A very good evening to all our distinguished guests, Dr. Ali Khwaja, Lingappa coach, who has coached me also as a young girl, and Dr. Vishwanath, to all my friends here, and the invitees who've come here, especially for the book launch. Dr. Vishwanath has been calling me for a couple of months to say that he's been launching this, and he was very keen to have me here. I arrived last evening just to be here for this function because it's truly what is needed in our society, not just for sports, but for every child that's growing up in our very, very selfish and very competitive environment that is prevailing today. I, as a young child, when I started out athletics, sports psychology was never in our vocabulary. We ran because we were asked to run. We trained because we were asked to train. We walked to school 4-5 kilometers, got back walking with our books on our shoulders, went to the stadium, trained every day, morning and evening. That was a routine, that was our life. We had no transportation, we had no money. So what came by was just bonus. But one thing that, on hindsight, when I think of my journey as an 8 or 9-year-old, when I started out, a journey that began, one, because of parents that believed in their 2 daughters, and because the life at home was encouraging to pursue what my parents thought we were talented in, despite the hardship that they went through. And it was because of them that I am standing here today as a guest, having achieved whatever a little I have achieved in this journey since 8 years old. I came across Dr. Rupan Das, who was a sports psychologist, when I was already representing India, way back in, I think, after the '86 Asian Games. I was going through a phase in life when I didn't know which is the event that suited me most. There were limitations with coaches, there were limitations with knowledge, there's always this knowledge gap that one is trying to achieve in sports, because sports being so scientific and every day it's evolving, we need to be abreast of everything that is happening in the current world. And in those days, it was difficult, and Dr. Rupan Das had come down from US, and he watched me in the stadium. I was running, I was training. He just stood there and he watched. I didn't know who he was. After my training, he came down and asked a couple of us who had finished training, would you try a session of mind training? It was kind of out of the blue, somebody coming onto the track and asking, would you try a session right on the ground, a session of mind training? It took us by surprise. And it was just 2 of us who said, yes, we will. And that was Reet and I. We did a session of mind training on the track, and ever since then, it continued for a 1.5 years with Dr. Rupan Das, of sessions after sessions. And it just dawned on me that whatever we did was purely mind over matter. All these years that I took part prior to meeting Dr. Rupan Das was running against a competitor, be it Usha, be it Shiny, be it Vandana, anybody. Nobody really told us how to handle fear. Nobody had the knowledge of building confidence. Sadly, that doesn't happen even in our Indian camps today for many of our athletes. Nobody told us how to control our emotions. Nobody said it was time that matters and not the person you're running with that matters. And how we tried to exercise mentally over years, over sessions after sessions, was the only reason that when I beat Usha once the first time, they called it a fluke. But when I beat her the second time, they all kept quiet. Because for me, at that point in time, it wasn't the fear of Usha next to me, because I always came back home with a second place whenever I ran with PT Usha. But ever since I got through this mental toughness through Dr. Rupan Das, it was running against time, and my time was against the finish line and not against my opponent. And that's a learning that really is necessary for every player, for every child, be it music, be it art, be it studies, be it sports. Then we put up a case study and we wrote to the government, to the Sports Authority of India, please try this on our Indian campus, free of cost, and there was no response. This was way back in 86, 87. I have been ever since, even today I can switch off my mind and just meditate. I've been doing yoga for the last 11 years. But when my daughter started playing the national level, I realized even in the best badminton circuit, there was nobody to help them emotionally to be strong. Nobody even talks about building self-esteem. And all these self-esteem and values that are necessary to become a champion is only through sports psychology, through mental toughness. And that is what sports psychology is all about. Achieving mental optimal result. The mental fitness that is required to have excellence. Success is relative, because for each one of us, success is relative, But if I think all of us, all our young children try and strive for excellence, success will automatically follow. And to help achieve those small steps of success in every child, in whichever field they are in, it is important that they go through psychologist training. Our academic institutions must be equipped. Our teachers, our trainers must be equipped to enhance and boost the child in whichever field that they are, to ensure that the child is mentally healthy, mentally tough to face adverse situations. We hear so many negative issues prior to results, with so many things that happens in our society today. But one really doesn't stop and ponder what is the reason, what are the things that are really required to handle these issues in today's very, very sensitive environment, especially for adolescents. I am no psychologist. I have two children who are 21 and 18 years old, but they've gone through this phase. And even in institutions and academies, it was not addressed. And I feel that it is one of the most vital things in achieving excellence, in grooming children to handle adversities, because that is the toughest thing. To achieve excellence, to achieve success, all of us have to cross many, many hurdles. But how we cross and overcome that hurdle is very important, and that happens through mental training, to believing in oneself, to feel happy that you are what you are and your body is capable of doing what you're doing. And to have that self-belief, it's important that mind training sets in. And I'm very happy, the reason I came here for Dr. Vishwanath is because this is a very, very important issue that we need to talk in every institution. It's not just for students, it's for trainers, it's for coaches, it's for the support system that works with every child. Everybody needs to be mentally tough. Everybody needs to be mentally prepared. Mental readiness is the order of the day today. If you're not mentally ready in this competitive environment, it's very difficult. And I am extremely happy that I have come here. I'd like to wish you all the very best, and may you ensure that more and more, you've already offered to come to my academy and train my athletes. Most welcome. I will ensure that you do that. But try and spread this through the people who have come here and through the press and media, the importance of mental training in achieving excellence in every child's performance. So thank you for having me here, and have a great evening.